Hello, I'm back again, and today I am going to clean up some of this text rendering code I got. Try to make it a little bit more optimal, a little bit better. What is this? No, I don't care. So last time I got my render text function pretty much working how I want it to. I got a character for missing letters in case I can't find it in the font. I got spaces handling just the way I would like it for now. I'm gonna get rid of this. I did this at the very end of last stream just to test that my missing characters are working. So I'm gonna put back all the special characters that I'm trying to get going here. Really just want to see all the characters in their full glory. I just want to look through one more time just to make sure there's nothing completely out of the ordinary. So backslash. What do I got comma, already semicolon. I need regular colon. And then I think the apostrophe. So let's take a look at that, see what we got. Yeah, so it all looks pretty straightforward. Although, my mouse, hold on, let me try to, I want to get the pointer, the cursor showing up so I can actually point things out on the window. What if I did that? Oh wait, actually no, I want to keep that. There was a function. Does it show cursor? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so if you look here, I got some weird stuff going on. And let me just double check my function call. Yeah, so I got the open square bracket and close square bracket right next to each other. But then if you look here on the actual game, there's like a weird, it's like putting a period there or something. Like the characters are fine. Let me take a look at the actual font. See if I notice anything funny. Alright, so I gotta flip this around. Where is the open square bracket? So there's the open square bracket, then it's the backslash, and then the closed square bracket. So let me pull up the grid. Oh, okay. That, I don't know if you can see that, but the backslash is 1 pixel too far to the right. So that would explain why it's putting a period in, right to the left of my, let me see. Yeah. Okay, so that is actually the tail end of my backslash. And if I look, I think that's the backslash. And yeah, it makes sense. It's 1 pixel too short. Okay, so this is presumably fixable by just dragging this over to the left once. And then I got to re-export and all that stuff. But you know what else? I want to fix this T. This T is ugly. I want to make the little hook go the other way. Now I gotta find where the layer with the T is. This is like hide and seek. Oh, getting close. Oh, and getting further. There it goes. I found it. All right. So let's delete that there and put that on that side. There we go. All right, so still got some ugly character. I really don't like this tiny X here, but what am I gonna do? Okay, so let's go back and flip it. I'm gonna go ahead and save my changes and re-export it to that. Yeah, just replace the old one, export. And then I gotta re-export the data from it. So, but I did save the script this time, so that's good. I did I think, I don't know if I did it on stream, but at the end of the stream, I remember to save the script. So I gotta find the script now. There it is. Debug font texture exporter.py. And I don't believe I need to really change anything. I think I just run it straight up, and no, I do get problems. Oh, I actually need to load the image into the program so it knows what image I'm talking about. That's the one. And run the script. Now it runs. So if I rerun my game, there we go. No random period, and my backslash looks good. Okay. Cool. So what else can I do? Let me go ahead and close that. All right, so I've got a little to-do list here. So render text. I want to that's supposed to be put debug font bitmap into the debug font H. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So where can I do that? I'll just do this here at the top of my main. Okay, so I'm just gonna do what I did last time. Just print things using printf and just copy and paste it. And I got to include standard in and out. All right, so I got a temp storage buffer, so I'm gonna E32 files. I'll just call it file size, and then so I want to read file into a buffer. The file is my debug font.text pics. It is going to go into my temp storage buffer, and the file length will be given to me by the function, but I want to put it in fs. Yeah, so let's make a U8 pointer, just call it dat equal to my temp storage buffer. So I don't need the width and height, I already know what those are, so I'm just going to say dat plus equals 8, so 2 integers passed, and then 32i 0 I is less than, I know there's 2500 pixels in this bitmap. Just want to iterate through them all, and then I'm going to print f a just do it as an integer, comma, and then we're just going to do the character at dat, and then dat plus plus. Is that right? There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm just going to copy all of those, go back to my debug font, and then just hard code those in as a unsigned, let's do it, yeah, I'll just put it here anyway, unsigned char. And I'll call this debug font bitmap pixel data. I just call it bitmap pixels. Boom. See, that's not too bad, right? All right, so I get rid of all of that, and then so where I'm initializing my textured, my default texture, I don't want to use the file anymore. I want to use the actual pixels. What's that? It's 50 by 50. And only 1 byte per pixel, so I hopefully didn't break anything. Yep. Cool, cool. So I get rid of that. Okay, so now my debug font is completely independent of file I/O working, so it should just be hard-coded into the game as long as this is able to load. And it's just C code, I don't know why it wouldn't. I can now render some sort of text that will hopefully help me in my endeavor to make this complex piece of machinery do what I want it to do. All right, so what else can I do? I can get rid of that. Make a binary search, yeah. Because if you look at here, where I'm actually rendering the text, when I'm finding what character I want to render, I'm just iterating through. And this font, this particular font, only has 94 or 95 characters. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But again, if I wanted to render fonts with much more characters than that, like emojis or some foreign language, then foreign to me, I should say, then yeah, I want to be able to optimize the way I'm finding these characters. And I think since it's all going to be ordered, it's all sorted, I can just use a binary search. So, all right, now we're going to put my computer science skills to the test. Can I remember how to do a binary search? Might have to Google this. I'm going to try it on my own here. Let's see, I'm going to put this in utilities. Static, so it's going to give you back a, let's say a sine 32, just in case you want to get back a negative number, like as if you didn't find it. I'll just call it binary search. And so this is going to be very specific to this font. So it's, my character codes are unsigned shorts. I'm going to have it take in a U16 array. I'll call this the list, and then it needs a U16 for the value that I'm looking for. And then you also need to know the starting index, and then the ending index, and let's do like that here. All right, so if I remember correctly, I don't want to do this recursively, I just want to use a loop. So I'm going to say while end is greater than or equal to start. That means I haven't found it yet. And then, so if I get through there and I haven't returned anything, I'm going to return -1. And so let's see, I don't remember how to do this. So I think I need to calculate the midpoint between the two, right? So I need U32 mid is equal to, let's see, what's the end minus start divided by 2. And then I need to offset that, right? So let me put all of this in parentheses. Yeah, so then I want to actually add the starting value to that, if I'm not mistaken. So then I want to check, is the one at mid, did I find it? So if the list at mid is equal to the value I'm looking for, then return mid. All right, so then if the list at mid is, let's say it's greater, wait, no. Wait, so if the list at mid is less than the value, then I need to alter the start. Wait, oh, I gotta think. Let me put this more in a way my brain would understand. So if the value I'm looking for is less than the list at mid, the midpoint, then I want to keep the start the same, but I want to change the end. So the end is now the mid -1. And then else, then I want to change the start value. So the start is equal to mid +1. I think that's it. I think that's what I want. Let's test this. Let's just come here to the very top here, and let's make a U16. Let's call this list array is equal to, and it's got to just be sorted, right? So 2, 4, 5, 8, 19, 21, 24, 88, 206. That's my test array. And then, so let's say, is it sine 32? v is equal to binary search. I'm going to pass in list. I'm going to put in, let's see, I'm going to search for the 5 first. And then how big is my array? So the starting index is 0, and then the ending index is just the length of my array. 0, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 things in there, but the last index is that minus 1, so 8. Is that it? All right, so let's try that. Oh, I need to compile it. Can't test it if you don't compile it. There we go. All right, so v is nothing. If I step out of it, v becomes 2. 0, 1, 2. That looks good to me. Now let's try 206. V is 0, becomes 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, index 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, I think it's working. Now let's try 2. Should be 0. Oops. V is 0. V stays 0. That's what I want. And now let's just try something that's not in the list. And I should get -1. Yeah. Cool. I wrote a binary search. So coming back here, I want, the problem is I don't want this to always be, or I don't want this to be -1 because it's unsigned, and I want it to be some positive index in my array. Okay, I'm going to modify this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take in a value here that's going to be like the return character, or the return value if you don't find it. So you can set it if you want. So I'm going to say sign32. I'm going to call this not found return value. And then I'm going to just say it's -1, so that way I don't have to set it if I don't want to. So if I ever want to use this function later for just like generic purposes, then I can do that. And let's put that there. So we're going to return that. And now here, I can get rid of this. Let's just comment it out for now. And say char index is equal to binary search. The list I'm searching through is the debug font character codes. The value I'm looking for is the value at wherever C is pointing at. Start is 0, and then the end is the total. Wait, debug font. Is it? I think it's just total characters. And then the debug missing font character index is going to be what I want to get back if it doesn't find that character in there. All right, does this compile? It does. Does it run? It does. And my text still works. And presumably it's finding these characters statistically faster than a linear search. Whew. All right. Let's get rid of that. That went way too smooth. I'm going to hit a huge problem here pretty soon. That's just the way it works. Make a binary search. Done. Oh, convert integer and floats to character arrays. Okay, I'm not going to do that yet. What I want to do is I want to kind of abstract out. Let's see, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. So I want to abstract out a font, right? Because here my text renderer is pretty much using this debug font exclusively. And that's pretty much all I'm going to be using for a while, but I do want to eventually in the future have the ability to add custom fonts or just any font really, any true type or open type font file. So yeah, so I'm going to make a struct for a font that represents what any font would be. Where can I put this? I'm going to put it above the texture. It's not really platform specific here. So I don't know if this is the right file to put this in, but this is where I'm going to put it for now. So struct, I'm just going to call it font. And then so what are the things I need for a font? Let's look at my debug font.h. Okay, so I need the bitmap's width, the bitmap's height, the total characters, missing character index. I'm gonna copy. No, that's not gonna work. Maybe I can do it like this. Okay, so I need a bitmap width, a bitmap height. Call this E32 total characters. And then, so unsigned short is a, well, since it's an index, I actually want a U32. In fact, let's change that. What is that? Okay. Okay, so I actually don't need the save all the bitmap pixels for every font I make. Okay, so yeah, I do need the character codes. That's and it's not going to be an array, but it's going to be a pointer. And then all of these are going to be pointers too. So I'm going to change all of these to be a float pointer. And I can probably get rid of most of this stuff here. And it's not all going to be the debug font. Actually, I don't even need the word character. Okay, so that's X offset, the Y offset, the width, height, the bitmap X, the bitmap height, or Y, the bitmap width, the bitmap height. Wait, I can't use bitmap width. Bitmap character width and bitmap character height. And the kern, I'm just going to call this kerning. Okay. Cool, so now I've abstracted out a font. So now I'm gonna save my debug font in one of these font objects. It's probably the wrong word to use. Where do I put that? Let's put this here. So font, yeah, debug font. And then so the text renderer is going to just have a pointer to a font. And this will be whatever the current font I have it set to is. And so instead of the default texture, this is going to be the font's texture. Well, so in that case, I should probably... Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to put the texture in the font. So every font is going to have a texture 2D for the bitmap. And then, so I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. But I want to set this up first. So let's go back here. Let me first make sure I didn't make any boo-boos. Nope. initialize. Okay, so after I initialize my text render, I'm going to set up my default font to basically point to everything inside of here. So we're going to say, no wait, did I call it default font or debug font? It should be debug. Yeah, debug font. Debug font dot all right, so the bitmap width is equal to the debug font bitmap width. Then, okay, let me find the most less typey way to do this. Oh wait, I got bitmap. Okay, so then that's obviously an equal sign. Total characters. No, get tired of typing that. Debug fonts, missing character index. That's equal to the debug's fonts. Character codes, and that's equal to the debug font character X offset, debug font character Y offset, debug font character width, debug font character height. That's the debug font bitmap character bitmap X and character bitmap Y, and I just overwrote. So that's the bitmap character width, height, and debug font character current amount. And then so the texture is actually going to be this. Oops. And then my text renderer is going to set its current font equal to the address of debug font. Okay, does that compile? It does compile, I'm surprised. Okay, so now when I'm rendering each character, I don't want to use the debug font. I want to use whatever the font, the current font stuff is. So let's do that here. So I'm going to make a font pointer. Just call it F and set that equal to the text renderer's current font. And then, so every time I'm doing this, I want to use whatever F is pointing to. So that is character codes, F's total characters, that's the missing character code index, that's going to be F at bitmap X, F at pointing to bitmap Y, width. Bitmap height, could just put width. Height. And this is going to be F kerning. And then when I'm setting the texture, setting the resource view. So this, okay, so I actually need to do this sooner. Let's just do it at the very beginning here, and then that is going to be the fonts bitmap dot resource view. Okay, subscript requires array or pointer type on line 339. What are you talking about? 339. Oh, it's bitmap character width, bitmap character height. There we go. Oh no, I broke it. That's not what I wanted. So that means something. All right, let's, how far can I back up? What did I break? I hate it when this happens. Oh wait, oh my goodness. I created a whole new texture. What am I doing? Okay, let's redo all of that. I don't think I needed to undo all that. Okay, so let's go back. There we go. And there we go. All right. Cool beans. Let's see. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I make the font there. I'm using the fonts bitmap. I'm using the current font. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with all this. So yeah, now later if I want to make a font, I just basically fill out the struct and then go to town. All right, so what else can I do? Okay, so now I need to make a couple functions. What time is it? 6:40. I got time. I gotta make a couple functions that will cast, or not cast, but convert integer, all the digits of an integer to a character. Give me back that value, and then same for floats, which is gonna be slightly more complicated. Yeah, let's do this. Let's try it at least. All right, so I'm gonna put this in utilities as well. Let's make a static function, void. We'll call this u32 to char string. What is it? Character string. Character array. It's technically not a string, I think. All right, so when I'm doing this, I need the number to convert, and then I need a buffer. And then what else? For I don't know. This is just gonna be temporary. For I don't know if it's temporary. I don't know. I don't think I want to leave it up to the function to determine if this buffer is big enough to hold this number. I think I'm just gonna leave it up to who or whatever is calling this function to ensure that when you pass in a buffer, it better have enough space in it to fill in the characters. So I don't know. That might come back to bite me in the butt, but we'll see. Okay, so what do I do? How do I do this? Okay, so if you have an integer, I know if you divide it by 10 in integer division, you'll get every number but the ones digit. And if you modulo it by 10, you'll get just the ones digit. So let's see. So while num is greater than 0, let's call, okay, so let's say U32, wait, yeah, U32. Okay. Okay, so let me do this. Let me make a counter to keep track of how many characters I've already put into the buffer. Then I want to check, because if the number is negative, so if num is less than 0, then I'm going to say buffer at counter plus plus is equal to a negative sign, a minus sign. And then oh wait, this is gonna put all the numbers in backwards though. Okay, so I'm gonna put the minus sign at the end, and then yeah, because I'm gonna have to put everything in and then actually put everything in that way and then reverse it and then tack on the minus sign. Okay, so let's say U32 digit is equal to num mod 10. And then we're gonna just say buffer at counter plus plus equals digit plus whatever 0 is as a character. Right, so if the digit's 1, I want to add it, because they just go sequentially. Like whatever the ASCII character for 0 is, it just goes sequentially from there. So I'm just going to add the 0. So if it's 0, it just adds 0 to that. I don't know, I'm rambling. I don't think I'm making sense, but it's all making sense in my brain. It's just filtering it out of my mouth is getting lost. Okay, so then I want to take the num, but then I need to save the number. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So U32 v equals num. And then so we're going to use v instead. So I could modify v all I want, but not affect num, because I need to save that for the end to see if it's negative. So yeah, so digit is v mod 10, and then I'm going to add digit plus that, and then I'm going to say v divided by 10. Divide equals 10, so that cuts off one thing. And then, so counter is how many things I put in the buffer. So I'm going to say for U32, I is equal to 0, I is less than counter, I plus plus. Actually, I need to do counter. Yeah, U32. H counter equals counter divided by 2, because I only need to go through half of this string to reverse it. And then, so I'm going to take, I'm just basically swapping the indices here. So buffer is S8, so S8 C is equal to buffer at I, and then I want buffer at I to equal the ending one, which is buffer at counter, no, wait, yeah, counter -1 minus I, right? I think so. And then basically this is going to equal C. And then I'm gonna every time I'm doing some math operation twice, it just makes me feel comfortable to pre-compute it. E32, I'll call this swap index is equal to the counter -1 minus I. Oh, but then now I don't have any room for the minus sign if I needed it. So what do Oh, okay. So actually, okay. So I think I could do this. Well, let me. Before I worry about negative numbers, let's do some testing. Okay, so let's make a buffer here. And I don't think any number will have more than 32 digits, especially for an integer. And then so U32 to character array, a number I want to convert. So let's just try the number 32 and put it in buffer. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here so I can check the value of buffer each time. Oops, need to compile this. Okay, so buffer should just be gibberish. 2, we got a 2. And then back around again. A 2. Hold on. Let's just look at what it is after. Oh. Why? What is this? Unable to open gsreport.c, unable to read file. I don't care about that file. What are you talking about? Okay. What is this? Unable to open GS report. Is it because I can't debug from another file? Like, that's dumb, isn't it? Okay, so what if I Do I still have that breakpoint? No. All right, what if I put a breakpoint here and it comes up with that cookie registered? What is going on? Huh. What if I do that? So then it's fine. It debugs no issue. What if I do that? All right. Oh. That's because I had an infinite loop, I believe. There we go. Dumb Dave strikes again. Okay. Can I not see the whole string value of this? Oh, you know what I should do? So yeah, no matter what, at the end of my thing, I'm going to add the null terminator character to my buffer. So buffer at whatever C, I don't need to increment it because it's the end, is going to equal that. Jeez. There we go. All right, so let's just see if I can read my buffer. It's got a 2 at the beginning, but let me just try. So that's fine. Okay, so that's 3. I don't know why it's not showing up in here. Oh, it is. It's just right there. It's 23. Okay, so counter is 2. All right, but then if I look at buffer here, is it? Okay, so yeah, it's 32. It's not adding the null terminator character for some reason. Or is it? I don't know. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna try. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna just check. So if num, oh, shoot, how do I do this? So I don't really need to preserve num then. Let's put num back here. If this works, this is maybe too premature for this, but let's see. Okay, so if num is less than 0, then the very first character is going to be a minus sign. And then I'm going to make a start index, set it equal to 0. But if that's the case, I want start index to equal 1. And then here, I'm going to start it at start index. So I'm only swapping every character from the second character on. Oh, but that's going to miss the last character there. Oh, so I don't need to subtract white. Great, so it'd be, oh, then I would just add the start index again. Yeah, I think so. All right, I don't know if this is gonna work at all. Oh no, semicolon missing. That would make sense, wouldn't it? There we go. So if I run this, I get 32. Seems legit. Now if I pass in, oh wait, oh geez, I'm doing unsigned. I want to do signed. Everything's signed. Counter could be unsigned. Start index could be unsigned. Yeah, so everything else is unsigned. Yeah. Shut up. All right, so now if I do negative 32, what's my buffer look like? Identifier not found. Oh, because that's signed 32 now. Negative 32. Whoa, 45. Oh no, that's the index of negative. No, that's not right at all. It is getting a negative sign, but then do I need to subtract that? Oh, I need to stop debugging. No. Okay, so this plan obviously failed. Oh, you know what I should just do then is make a temporary buffer instead. So we'll call this tbuff. Wait, no. Tbuff. Let's make it 32 bytes long, and then so yeah, we're just gonna use tbuff. And then so we want to swap everything in tbuff. This is gonna degrade the speed at which this function runs, but it's fine. Okay, so then I'm just gonna copy everything. Oh wait, so I could actually do the copying here, like reverse it. That makes sense. So I don't need that. I'm gonna just delete all this, start again. All right, so I'm just gonna go through tbuff backwards. So then that would be 0. And then 4. Wait, so I need 2 counters then. Oh, why is it so complicated? All right, let me just see if tbuff is working the way I want it to. It's getting nothing. Oh yeah, also if this is the case, because it's negative, I need to say it's equal to the negative version of itself. There we go. So now T-Buff's got 23. Okay, so then so I need to make another counter. So then buffer at counter 2 plus plus. Wait. Is equal to T-buff at I. And then that would be counter 2. Right? I'm still using counter, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. So buffer at access. Okay, so I got an access violation. How? Obviously. So how is it? So counter 2 is, let me start the for loop here, take a look at what everything is. So counter is 2. So counter minus 1 would be 1. So that should not be going out of bounds or anything. Access violation. I is 1. Counter 2 is 1. Okay, so it works there. Good there. Oh, oh, oh. Wait, what? How is I underflowing? It should stop at 0. Well, if I make that signed, okay, so that's fine. I don't know why that was happening, but who cares? All right, so now buffer actually has -3. I can just see here, -32. I don't know why it's not adding that null to, oh, because I'm not looking at it at that case. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So -32, perfect. Okay, let's try something a little bit more complex here. And get out the ones there, so let's go there. Buff is equal to, where's buff? -12412. Okay, so I think that's working. Let's add another render text function call. We'll just make this black. Put this at 200. All right, that looks good to me. Okay, so since I got this, let's go ahead and make the easier unsigned version. It does not have to check for negativity. I think that's it. I think that's all I had to do. I'm not sure. But there's only one way to find out. Whoops. All right, so I should only take positive numbers and pilot. I debug it. 12412. Yeah. Cool. All right, that was fine. Where's my to-do list? So convert integer. All right, so now the float. Do I have time? Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of time into trying to make a float into a character string. All right, but I think it'll be easier now that I have these functions. So static void f32 to character array. It's going to take in the float for the number and then the buffer. So I think I just need to basically break it up into 3 different strings. So I got the part before the decimal point, get that as an integer, make that its own character string, and then I will get the actual decimal point itself, and then the part after the decimal point, I just multiply that by some amount. Oh yeah, so I should also take in like how precise I want it to be. So U32 precision, is that how you spell that? So I'm gonna force myself to have to provide how many decimal. Actually, no, I don't have to do it. I could just, so default, if I don't put anything, it'll just go to 2 decimal values. And then if I wanted to specify it to more precision, I have that option. So okay, so I'm going to take the first part of it just by simply casting it to an integer. And then, so let me make some temporary buffers here. So let's say we got S8, I'll call this first, call this pre-decimal. And 16 is probably enough. And then post-decimal. So then F32 decimal value. So I can get just the decimal value by taking the int value, or no, taking the number and subtracting the int value. At least that should work in theory. Equals the num minus the int value. And then I'm going to get another sine 32 for the int value, decimal value. I'll call this decimal as int. Set that equal to the, so it's always going to be positive. So it's unsigned 32 casting of the decimal value times my precision. Right? So basically, let me just type this out to make sure it makes sense in my head here. All right, so let's say the number is that. And I want it to 3 decimal places. So I get the integer value, I subtract the whole thing from the integer value, which gives me that. And then I multiply this by 3? No, times precision. No, wait, okay, so it's precision to that power. Yeah. So I need like an exponent function. Do I still have math.h? Not here, not in utilities. Yeah, so mathematics includes utilities, so I can't use any of the functions in here. I need to get rid of that. Okay. Okay, so I think I need to make a loop then here. So for 32i equals 0, I is less than precision, I plus plus. So then the, we'll call this, I'll just call it exp is equal to precision. And then, so we're just going to say the exponent times equals 10. So yeah, so if the precision's 2, then it goes from 2, wait, so then it goes from 20. No. So I need to set it to 10. Right, so precision is 1. No, wait. I can't do math anymore. Precision to 10. Yeah, because if the precision value is 1, I just want to multiply this by 10. And then, yeah, okay, so I'm just only using precision there. Okay, so I think this is fine. So then that's going to multiply by exponent. Decimal. Wait. All right, I got confused there. Now I got to remember what I was doing. So, okay, so I got the exponent. Calculating what the exponent is going to be. Then so okay, so the decimal as an int is a U32 casting of the decimal value, which is that, times the exponent. Okay, so I think that's good. I think that should do it. Okay, actually I want to test all of this stuff here to see if it's actually doing what I want it to do. So F32, the character array. All right, so we got the int value here. What was my number? 124.512. So the int value is, wait, where'd it go? There we go, 124, that is correct. The decimal as an int is definitely 512. But my precision's only 2, right? Oh, so I should start this at 1. That makes sense. There we go. So now it's 51. So I'm cutting off that 2 if I don't need it. Yeah, okay, cool. So now I just need to build it all into a buffer. So to sound counter 0. So while oh no, actually first I gotta use the functions I got here. So mine just totally went blank. Yeah, so I want to say S32 to character array. Pass in the number, which is int value. No, wait. Yeah, so int value. And then I'm going to pass in the pre-decimal buffer. And then I need an unsigned 32 to character array. Pass in the decimal as an int. And put in my post-decimal buffer. Actually, let me go back and... Okay, so now I want to check just to make sure that these are what they're supposed to be. Oh, actually, let me uncomment that so it'll actually stop at the breakpoint. Post-decimal, 51. Pre-decimal, 124. Was it 124? Yeah. Okay, so that's all good. Yeah, so now I just need to put everything into pre-decimal. Put everything into the buffer, is what I meant to say. So while C is not equal to the null terminator, we are going to say that the buffer at counter plus plus is equal to pre-decimal. No. That's equal to the value at C, and then we want to increase C. Then the buffer at counter plus plus is equal to the decimal point or period. And then I'm going to do this all over again, except for setting that to be post-decimal. And then, and then, I want to add the null terminator character. C, redefinition. Yeah, I don't need to do that. Okay, it runs. Oh, yeah, I could already tell it works. There we go, 124.51. And then if I wanted that extra precision, I can say 3, and let's see if that works. It does. What if I put more than I have decimal values? So what if I would it? Hopefully it'll just tack on some zeros. I don't think it won't. And it does. Sweet. I like this. All right, so this is going to be so much easier for the rest of the game development to be able to debug numbers, or debug text, or have debug text with numbers. Yeah, so I'm going to count that as a success. Render text. Am I done with the rendering of text? I feel like I'm not. What else would I need to do? Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm still okay. So I want to make with variable arguments. Yeah. So I basically want to make my own printf where I can use like %s or %f or whatever, and then just tack on a bunch of values, numerical values, and then just have it all work, right? Just like magic. But that's not going to be done today, so let's get rid of this. Cool. Yeah, I think I made some excellent progress today. My text render is looking sharp. If you don't look at the letters, those letters are ugly, I admit that, but hey, I made them from scratch with a pencil tool. Cool. All right, so I think next time I'll put a little bit more work into the text renderer, and then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Still need to improve lighting. Gamepad input. I need to do that at some point. Inputs. Got animated meshes. Let's kind of keep these together here. Yeah, that's something I still need to look at. I don't like that. Maybe I can still do this, but then actually find some use for these values instead of just wasting space. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've done enough for today. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for checking in and motivating me along the way. Let's push this all to GitHub. Cleaned up text rendering. Uh-oh. Wait. There we go. All right, and with that, I am out of here. Thank you. See you next time.